Okay, good morning, friends. Shalom Aleichem, Rucham Abba. We're continuing in Mishnah Berurah, Daf HaShavua. We're learning Siman Kuf Tes, Sif Aleph. We're in the middle of the Mechaber. The Mechaber said if you come to Shul, you walk in late, and the Tzibur is ready davening, so if you could start and finish before the Shliach Tzibur gets up to Kedusha or to Kaddish, you daven. Also, you have to be able to finish in order to answer Hakel HaKadosh and Shemei Tefillah. Hakel HaKadosh is because Hakel HaKadosh is part of Kedusha. Shemei Tefillah is the most important response of Amen. The Mechaber says, V'im lav, and if not, if one is not able to finish in time, Al Yispal, you can't start davening yet. Imein Hasha Iveres, unless the time is passing and you're going to miss the Zman Tefillah. V'im nichnas achar kedusha. If you entered after kedusha, meaning like this, you walked in after kedusha. If you could begin and finish before the Shliach Tzibur gets up to Maidim Yisrael, you should daven. V'im lav al Yisrael. Otherwise, you can't daven them. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Shliach Tzibur l'Maidim, u'l'Rama hanal b'hago. According to the opinion of the Rama, it's not enough that you could finish by Maidim. You have to be able to finish by Shemei Tefillah to be able to answer the Amen of Shemei Tefillah. So if you come into Shul after Kedusha, and you could squeeze in the Shemone Esrei, it's not going to be good enough if you could squeeze it in before Maidim. You got to squeeze it in before the Amen of Shemei Tefillah. Another Eitzah is if you could schedule that you'll get up to Shemei Tefillah when the Tzibur is up to Shemei Tefillah. Otherwise don't begin until Maidim, until after the Shat says Maidim. That is halacha l'maisa. Here's my dilemma. Let's say you came to Shul on time, but you forgot to say Yalav Yavai, or you forgot Mashmarach Magash, and now you have to start over. And if you start over, you're going to miss Kedusha. Are you not allowed to start over until after the Shliach Tzibur is finished with Maidim? I don't know the answer to that. Okay, the Mechaber continues. Here's an Eitzah. You came to Shul after Kedusha. You don't think you'll be able to finish the whole Shemone Esrei before the Shliach Tzibur gets up to Maidim, but you could schedule your Maidim to when the Shliach Tzibur gets up to Maidim, or you could schedule your Baruch Atah Hashem Magen Avraham to when the Shliach Tzibur gets up to Maidim. So this way you'll be bowing when the Shatz gets up to Maidim. So that's also another Eitzah. Namely, Kishayir Maidim, Yispala, then you could daven. Says Mishnah Berurah Sheshoichin Mahem V'afa Pishala Yachal Maidim D'Rabbanan Shat Tzibur Oimrim. Even though you won't be able to say Maidim D'Rabbanan, Ein Beklach Klum. That's not a problem. Kivan Sheshoichin Mahem, because at least you're bowing with them. V'zeh Mutar Afil Chachil. This is Mutar Ibn Chachila. Ach Yitzamtzem Sheberchas Shemei Tefillah Yomer Im HaShliach Tzibur B'Shava Ukil Kamei B'Sif Beis. Just schedule that your Shemei Tefillah you will be saying together with the Shliach Tzibur. The Mechaber continues, V'im tzarech lahaschil k'dei lismach gula l'tfilah. Let's say you need to start. Meaning, you came to Shul late, and you can't wait till after Maidim. You know why? You made a mistake. You already said the words Go'al Yisrael. Once you said Go'al Yisrael, you have to immediately start Shemone Esrei. You can't wait there. If you need to start in order to be Samach Gula Tefillah, v'nezdamin loy shemagia shliach tzibur l'maidim, and it happened that the Shatz got up to Maidim, and you're in middle of Shemone Esrei, kishehu ba'achas me'abrachas, and you're in one of the middle brachas, yishcha imai, you should bow with him. Avalam hu b'tchilasa, meaning you're allowed to bow with the shliach tzibur if you're in middle of one of the bracha, if you're in one of the brachas, in the middle of the bracha. But if you're in the beginning of the bracha, avalam hu b'tchilasa, oy b'soifa, or the end of a bracha, lo yishcha, you're not allowed to bow. She'ein shoichin b'tchilas bracha oy b'soifa. You may not bow in the beginning or end of any bracha, v'shemana esrei, ela ba'avos v'haida, only in avos and moedim. So, if you mistakenly got yourself into a situation where you would have to start the Shemone Esrei because you already said Goal Yisrael and the Shliach Tzibur got up to Moedim, what you'll do is you'll bow when the Shliach Tzibur says Moedim. But you cannot bow in the beginning or end of any bracha except for Avos and Moedim. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Kedei Lismaich, Sivkatan Tes, Perosh, Sheta, you made a mistake for Amar, Ad Goal Yisrael. Shemamela mechuyev lahas mechla tefila miyad. Mamela, you need to juxtapose the Shemone Esrei immediately to it. Vuadin mitzad shasha iveres. Or another reason would be time is passing, so and therefore you're going to miss the zman tefila. So mechuyev la'amay take of a you have to start davening right away. Otherwise, you cannot start davening Shemone Esrei because you're going to miss kedusha. You would have to wait for Kedusha. We're at B'Shira Chadasha. Shira Chadasha. By the way, the Shari Tshuva writes in Siman Samach Vav Sivkatan Yud Gimel that if, let's say, the Shliach Tzibur is up to Es Samach David, you're allowed to start Shemone Esrei. And this way, what you'll do is you'll say Baruch Atah Hashem when the Shliach Tzibur says Moedim. The only thing is you can't do that because you're going to miss Shemei Tefillah. So it has to be talking about where you already heard Shemei Tefillah and he's up to Ritzei. Then you could start and bow down when you're up to the bowings of Avos. Now, when you're bowing together with the shots and you're in the middle of, let's say, Baruch Aleinu, you don't say the words Moedim Anachnu Lach. It says Mishnah Berurah, Eino Omer Az Moedim. You don't say Moedim then. V'hashechia Kedei Shelo Yeh Nireh K'Kofer. You're just bowing so that you should not look like a heretic. It's always good to avoid looking like a heretic. B'mishat Tzibur Mishtachavim Lai. To the one that Tzibur is bowing down to. Mikamakim Eino Muchach Lai Lahascham Liyad. This Eitzah is only if you made a mistake and you happen to have had to start Shemone Esrei. But if you don't have to start right away, we don't allow you to start the Shemone Esrei relying on the fact that you'll just bow down in the middle of a random bracha. Even though it is mutter to bow down in the middle of a bracha, we're afraid you might forget to bow, because you're not obligated to bow then. So since you're obligated to bow, we don't allow you to start the Shemone Esrei relying on the fact you just bow down in the middle of a bracha because you might forget. And if you're going to be so focused on making sure you bow, it will distract you and you won't have kavanah in your tefillah. Okay. Sif Beis, if you began to pray with the Shliach Tzibur, when the Shliach Tzibur gets up to Nakdishach, Yoimar imay mila b'mila kol hakadusha k'maishu oimer. If you're starting the Chazar Hashatz with the Shliach Tzibur, in other words, when the Shliach Tzibur says Baruch Atah Hashem, you're saying with him along Baruch Atah Hashem, and you're saying with him Atah Gibar Lam Hashem, and then when he gets up to Nakdishach, you say with him every word Nakdishach v'narisach. So you say this is a raya, you should have a nusach Sfard. Of course it's a raya, you should have a nusach Sfard. If you're a Sfardi, you definitely should have a nusach Sfard. That's why the Mechaber says Nakdishach. But okay. Anyway, then the Mechaber continues. You should say with him every word of Berchas Hakel HaKadosh. Or Berchas Shemei Tefillah. In other words, if you start with the shots, there are certain key parts you need to be on the same page with him. The first bracha of Shemone Esrei, Kedusha, the Hakel HaKadosh, and Shemei Tefillah. V'gam yichavin, you should also direct yourself. Kishiyagia shliach tzibur l'maydim, when the shliach tzibur gets up to maydim, yagia gam hu l'maydim, you should be up to maydim. Or lahatov shimcha l'chano l'haydais, or hatov shimcha, so you could bow k'dei sheyishcha im shliach tzibur b'maydim. Aval lechatchila, but lechatchila yaschel ad achar shamar kedusha v'hakel hakadosh. Lechatchila, you should not say the Shemone Esrei word for word with him. You should wait until after Kedusha and Hakel HaKadosh. Eloshim hutzuk lahaschel. But if you have to start, mikayach shashoy veres, because time is passing, oikidei lisma gulo tefila, dina hachi, this is the din. We're going to see many achronim say, no, you could say it along with him, even lechatchila, even if ein sha'oy veres. Now, here's the thing. What if you daven nusach Ashkenaz? Because why would you daven nusach Ashkenaz? Because you're an Ashkenazi. That's why. So, if you're an Ashkenazi and you daven nusach Ashkenaz, then what do you do when the Shat says Lidar Vadar Nagid Galecha Ulenetzach Netzachim Kedushascha Nakdish? Do you say Lidar Vadar or do you say Atakadosh? When you daven Nesalin Shemone, you say Atakadosh. When you daven Chazar Sashatz, you say Lidar Vadar. So it says the Mishnah, Mila b'Mila, Perosh sheyomer imay nekadesh. You say with him, nekadesh shemcha ba'olam. Now, are you allowed to answer out loud? The Torah Chaim says you could. The Chazan says b'doichek. Do you lift yourself up when you say kadosh, kadosh, kadosh v'mirav Shemone Esrei? The Prisha says it could be you can. The Makar Chaim says you do. Reb Chaim Kanievsky says you do. Do you say all the added part of Kedusha, like on Musaf and Shabbos, Naritzcha? Yes. Now, when you're in middle of Shemone Esrei and you're stopping to listen to Kedusha, you only stop and listen to the Psukim, Kadosh, 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 and Baruch Kvad Hashem Kaimai. But when you're saying it along with the Shliach Tzibur, you say the whole Kedusha. What if you're a Ben Eretz Yisrael, that you're Yom Tov Sheni in Chutz La'aretz? So you're a resident of Israel, you're in America for the second day, you're davening a weekday Shemone Esrei, and the Shas is saying a Yom Tov Dika Shemone Esrei. You say the Yom Tov Dika Shemone Esrei of America. It's not a hefsek. What if you daven Nusach Ashkenaz and the Chazan is davening Nusach Sfard, or vice versa? How are you gonna pull that one off? Because if you're saying with him word for word, then what? I'm going to say with him word for word his Nusach, and I'm going to segue into my Nusach afterwards. So the Dirsha brings down that Reb Chaim Kanievsky says, until after Kedusha and Birchas Hakel HaKadosh, you daven the Nusach of the Shatz, and then you could daven your own Nusach. I would say that's a little bit interesting, because that means you have a hodgepodge of a davening. Half your tefillah is Nusach Ashkenaz, the other half is Nusach Sfard. Rav Shlomo Zalman says not to do that. Whatever Nusach you started to say with the Shatz, you should finish. The Mishnah Berurah concludes, then you could daven on your own. If you could finish up before the Shatz gets to Shemei Tefillah. Let's say like this. You're saying the Shemone Esrei along with the Shatz, but the Shatz is saying Anenu. And it's Shachris. You don't say Anenu in Shachris. Don't say it along with him. What about in Mincha, where you do say Anenu, but you say it in Shemei Tefillah, and he says it as a separate bracha? You don't say it with him. Afilu Mincha ela b'Shemei Tefillah ki yachid. Okay, we'll hold it over here, Rabbi Isai. Have a beautiful day.
What about by Mincha, when you're saying it in the Bafilu not? What about by Bafilu?